Hey guys, welcome back. This is my movie review for the Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, from the trailers for this movie, I was super excited. I thought the trailers looked great. They looked action packed. I love the new characters of Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch. This is from the trailers, and I thought the movie was gonna definitely live up to the first one, and I honestly thought it could be better. But the thing about these Avengers movies and superhero movies in general, especially with the Avengers movies, when you have all of these different heroes together on screen, you can basically create any plot, any story, even a mediocre one, throw some action in there, and the fans will enjoy it and get behind it. But you know is that really all we're looking for? Because the first Avengers movie, I absolutely loved. I thought it was epic. You really felt like, what was the events that were happening were really significant and important. Same thing with The Dark Knight Rises, just to compare it to another superhero movie that I think is really in that elite class of films. But the Avengers Age of Ultron, to me, unfortunately, felt a bit like a cash grab, just because of the story and the plot. I think, for me, that really held this movie back. I never like it in the movie when it's the case that the main conflict is something that's completely avoidable. So in the Avengers Age of Ultron, Tony Stark, he creates Ultron, this robot, like an updated version of Jarvis, kind of. He creates Ultron because he suddenly gets these feelings of dread that the evil's going to conquer the world, and it will have been his fault because he didn't do enough to protect the Avengers and the world. So he creates Ultron, and this robot suddenly, as soon as he's created, becomes self-aware, and he has this desire to basically destroy the world, completely rule it and conquer it. And to me, that's like, I don't know, it feels a little lazy that that's the best they can do for a villain for the Avengers. I mean, you have this team of all these powerful superheroes, and their biggest threat is just this robot that they created in one day. And it's like, if Tony Stark wouldn't have decided to create Ultron, then there wouldn't have been any need for this movie. I thought in the first Avengers, Loki was a great villain, and there was that whole story with the people from Thor's planet, and there was an invasion and all that. But here it's just like they just create this robot, and he's gonna take over the world, and they have to fight him. That, to me, doesn't feel that epic. It feels like I said, it could have been avoided. So that was my main problem with this movie. The action, like I said, you could throw any plot into this movie, make it work with the Avengers, throw some action in there, and you'll have a decent movie. So the action was good, but to me, we've seen that already in all of these Marvel movies. And honestly, I thought the action in this movie felt a bit cartoonish. I don't know, I felt that it moved a little too fast. What I mean by that, in Captain America Winter Soldier, which I think is easily a better movie than Age of Ultron, the action was really intimate. I don't think it moved as fast. They really took their time with the action scenes, and I think the choreography was worked out with more care than in this movie. But the action was good. It was entertaining. I don't know. I think just because the story was the plot was a little shallow, and then The story jumped around all over the place. The action, to me, I just couldn't get quite as invested in it as most other people. But the action was good. It was entertaining. And the other thing that bothered me really with the plot is that there were just way too many. There were just way too many subplots going on. The relationship between Black Widow and the Hulk seems to have just come out of nowhere. From Winter Soldier, I thought that Black Widow and Captain America were ready to tie the knot, but it seems like, that didn't carry over at all into this movie, and suddenly she has this relationship with the Hulk, and I just felt it was kind of forced, and I didn't really care about it. There's a whole sub-story going on here with Hawkeye, which is kind of nice because we don't really get much backstory on him in the first Avengers. And it was nice, but I just felt, all the different subplots were a little bit of a distraction. I liked Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver as characters, but I thought they were a little underused. Well, I felt Quicksilver, his character, was kind of underused, but then Scarlet Witch, I thought there was a little too much focus on her, and she has this ability where she can give people visions, get inside their heads, and that was used way too much. She was doing this to all the different Avengers when they were fighting, and it led to this scene with Thor that I just thought completely didn't belong in this movie. Another kind of subplot, or maybe a story they were setting up for a future Thor movie, but it was terrible. It looked like something that would belong in the director's cut of this film. That they even took time when there was this other main storyline going on they took out even just a couple minutes to show Thor dealing with this vision that Scarlet Witch gave him. It was just really terrible and ridiculous. It looked cheap. It looked like the B cut of the movie. And I really don't understand how they could have let that scene stay in there for the final cut. To me, it really looked lazy and completely misplaced. Every review that I've seen for this movie, everyone has mentioned that, and mentioned how this scene just stuck out like a sore thumb, and I really didn't like that. But other than that, the Avengers Age of Ultron, it was entertaining. There was definitely enough action throughout the movie. Like I said, though, I didn't feel quite too invested in it. But for me, really, the main plot, it was just a little too avoidable and disappointing that, this is, that's the biggest threat to the Avengers is, just a robot that Iron Man created rather than, some external force or some other enemy coming to do some harm. And one other thing, I thought the chemistry between the superheroes in this movie out of their suits, when they weren't fighting or in costume, but when they were just regular people, I thought the chemistry between them was really great. But the Avengers was entertaining enough. I enjoyed it. I'm just looking for a more epic story, something that feels really significant, and I really hope we can get that in Infinity War. But I'm going to give the Avengers Age of Ultron a B+. Really fun movie, still good action, a kind of entertaining story, just doesn't feel that epic. I don't think this is nearly as good, like I've already said, as Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and I don't think it is as good as the first Avengers movie either. But thank you for watching my review, guys. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe. I'm going to have some other reviews up very soon, and I'm seeing several really big movies this summer that I'm really looking forward to, and I'm planning to review all of them, so be on the lookout for those. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.